Nights like these are therapy. I feel my sorrows fading away. I close my eyes to see the light that's shining deep inside me. I just can't sleep, get lost in these moments. Can't press repeat, gotta freeze it and hold it. I'm in too deep as the ocean. No, I just can't sleep, cause I'm lost in these moments. Na, 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 lost in these moments. Na, 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 lost in these moments. Lost in these moments. Lost in these moments. We break away and disobey. We feel our sorrows fading away. We got tonight to shed a light. Yeah, we can make it better. I just can't sleep, get lost in these moments. Can't press repeat, gotta freeze it and hold it. Yeah, I'm as deep as the ocean. No, I just can't sleep, cause I'm lost in these moments.
It's Friday. Matt, it's Friday.
Big show today.
It's a big
crazy,
show.
Crazy news day. A lot of stuff.
We're going to be talking about bangers today. Some banger judges, some banging judges that are, you can't even make this up. You can't make this stuff up.
You can't. A judge let an illegal alien in the back door and then let the illegal alien in the back door again. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Matt, do you feel like you have to use the word allegedly from now on? Is that like the new word? Allegedly.
Like from now, everything's like, I allegedly have to use the word allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But, they say that the limit is because of malice. We don't have any malice. I mean, if you like backdoors, it's no problem. That's why you got a sliding glass door in the back door of some houses.
Yeah, if you want a glass of wine and smuggle an illegal inside of you. Oh my god, I feel so bad. Sorry, I need to go to church after this for sure. After this show.
Sorry, Father.
We're sorry.
All right, so we do have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. Luigi Mangione just pleaded not guilty to murdering healthcare CEO George Santos, healthcare CEO. Okay, just disappeared. That's good. That's interesting.
It's interesting. I mean, obviously he didn't do it if he's pleading not guilty.
Oh, got it. Yes. So we're making some change. We're making some changes. JC is making some changes in real time for us. I'm reading my notes and I'm like, okay, hey, look, it's going to be a bang up show today on Untamed. We got lots to talk about. Untamed is going to be untamed. It's going to be a little crazy. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people. Oh, hot dog, look at you.
And nobody talked about what's really happening.
And let's have conversations about what truth is. So, bang, bang. We're going to call Judge Joel Cano Bang Bang.
I like it. He's probably also with Eric Sawa, I would imagine. Yeah, that would be the second Bang Bang he was with in the last year.
Bang Bang and Fang Fang?
Bang Bang and Fang Fang.
So 23-year-old Christian Ortega Lopez with ties to the Tren de la Agua gang in his home. Let's go ahead and play the video.
Agarré, patrona.
Oh.
Agarré duro.
Oh, sí, está pesado. Está pesado. Yo no sabía que estaba.
What is it?
Yeah, it's heavy.
Put it on.
A ver, claro, patrón, ¿cómo es que sí? Mételo ahí.
Yo no soy un santo, pero estoy en clave. Estoy pagando.
What? It's not even, it doesn't, I don't, help me. Help me.
He has to be into some really weird stuff. I mean, obviously, what's really going on here is there's a judge who wants to get freaky with illegals. That's what's happening. I mean, there's no way that they're going to have a normal judge and his wife, by the way, and now they're arrested.
But maybe this is normal for judges. All right, follow me with this. Judges are letting criminals out of jail. They have infiltrated every part of our government. I mean, every part of our society. These radicals, these ideological demons. Judges are doing things today that you never would have thought they would do. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the cartel inside of our judiciary.
Yeah, I guess it's possible that we have a bunch of judges across the country that are all participating in harboring illegal aliens. I wouldn't be that surprised. I mean, at least they're putting their house where their mouth is. They're willing to let them off.
Their house where the mouth is.
Like they already go off free.
I don't know if it's the house they're putting in the mouth, though. I think it might be.
Yeah, there may be a couple other things. Let's just put it that way. We'll leave it there. I don't think that's the only thing that's going inside Mouse in this. Respectfully speaking, of course, yeah, because that's pretty graphic. I don't want to think about that.
But that was a real thing. Like they're alleging inside this home that there are a lot. I had to use the word alleged again. I feel like I'm becoming.
Yeah, we'll just wear shirts now that just say everything we say is allegedly. Then we'll be good to go.
Allegedly, but they got arrested. Mamacito got arrested with Papi.
Do you think they would have been arrested under the Biden administration?
No
chance.
Yeah, here we go.
There's the footage.
She's trying to figure out why she doesn't even look. He doesn't look surprised. He doesn't look like, yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I knew this was coming. I mean, he already had to resign from his position as a judge in Arizona, which I'm sure if you got him as your judge, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to let you off based on political reasons, or go after you even harder based on political reasons.
And then he's going to let you in the back door.
Yeah, if you're willing to go live with him and participate in more illegal I guess technically it's legal, but if you're willing to participate in unspeakable activities, then he'll let you off with a warning. No jail time. House arrest in his house. That's the punishment. You have to. You were an ankle monitor and you can't leave his house.
You can't. That's not the only judge to get arrested.
That's right.
What if I told you there's another one? And by the way, there's a lot of judges across the country that have been arrested. Matter of fact, what if I told you that the Supreme Court justice for the state of Colorado was forced to resign just a few years ago because he paid out a $2.5 million bribe of the taxpayer money, hush money, because there was a sex assault and sex ring inside of the Colorado Supreme Court, and he got caught paying this bribe. So they called back on it, gave this outside contract $2.5 million.
Where does
and never got charged
employee?
I think that we should put that in front of President Trump. President Trump needs to know about it.
Where did he get the $2 million from?
He just signed a contract.
Wow.
So if this person, hush, here's a $2.5 million contract, go away.
Isn't it strange how someone who supposedly dedicates their life to public service happens to have a higher net worth than the average American by a magnitude of 10?
It's not 10. It's like 30 or 50.
30 or 50.
I mean, think about Nancy Pelosi. $300 million. Her husband was a landscaper. $300 million.
You're telling me he's not an expert stock trader?
No, he is actually.
What?
He's better than Bernie Sanders or Bernie Madoff. Okay, there was also a Milwaukee judge that was arrested. Hannah Dugan. And Hannah Dugan and her attorney were running out of the federal courthouse following her arrest by the FBI for harboring an illegal. She's charged with 2 felonies for obstructing an ICE arrest last week. Let's go ahead and play it. No volume.
Anything to say about this?
She's still wearing her robe. Wait, back that up. Back that video up. Back that video up. The judge is still wearing her robe. Did you see that?
That's crazy.
Just still. She's still wearing her robe.
I would say take it off, but that's the last thing I want to see. So it's better. At least she's wearing that. Unlike the other judge, he's probably wearing nothing in his court case. He probably walked in there butt naked. At least she's wearing something. I'll give her credit for that. But it's about time, because this, on a serious note, these judges have been destroying our country from the fundamental, I guess you say the bottom level of the government is a lot of these judges, but they've been using their power to obstruct and stop justice from taking place, to make sure illegals have no consequences, to flood our country and let them get off scot-free. And they've been doing it and getting away with it for so long, and it feels amazing to finally see some of these people being
It's not
arrested.
enough, though, Matt.
Not even close.
It's not enough.
There's so many more.
It's fine that you have these obscure people that get arrested for this, but we have names. We have names. Like we want Polis in handcuffs. We want Jenna Griswold in handcuffs. We want Phil Weiser in handcuffs. We want the people in Colorado that are basically stealing rights and violating the Constitution in handcuffs. We want judges in handcuffs. We want Fauci in handcuffs. Actually, you know what? I want Fauci to hang from a rope. 2 million people.
He's responsible for a lot of this.
He's the one that said back in the 80s, he said during the 80s that you could get AIDS from looking at someone. Stop looking at me, Matt.
Yeah, you bet.
He walked right into it. Like,
there's no comeback to that. I mean, there's no comeback to that. Definitely don't look at it. Don't look at the judge in that case.
Oh, okay. So speaking of judges that always wear their robes,
It's okay. I got the AIDS vaccine that Dr. Fauci gave me.
He gave it to you.
Yes, I did. You don't even want to know where you take the AIDS vaccine. You don't even want to know.
it comes in a contraceptive. Okay, so this video, is that video ready by any chance? I just put it in the prep. This is truly what judges do in the country. And this is it Comical Mama? Constitutional Mama? She's in Colorado. She's actually a friend of mine's daughter. And she's really, really funny. But did I stall long enough for you to play it? Okay. All right, let's play it.
Well, hi there. You may have thought that last November you elected a new administration to come in and make some much needed changes. But that's not happening. Why, you might ask? Because I'm in charge. Who am I? Well, I'm an unelected activist judge, and I'm calling the shots now. I am the supreme arbiter of all things. This robe is adorned with unchecked authority, and I wear it everywhere.
The comments. It's fun.
Hi, neighbor. How are ya?
If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, there's no need for legislatures or elections. This right here is my gavel, and it pretty much controls all policy.
That's a meat
And I
tenderizer.
control the gavel. Oh, this is delicious. It's the tears of dissenting attorneys. Now, you might be thinking maybe judges should just judge, or maybe judges should just interpret law and not create laws. Or maybe judges shouldn't safeguard illegal gang members, but instead should rule to protect American citizens. Maybe we should. Maybe we should. But I am drunk on power right now, and I don't see myself getting sober anytime soon. Okay.
That's judges.
They're all alcoholics for the most part.
They all hate me. I haven't met a judge yet that liked me. I have a friend of mine that was a judge. He was a wonderful guy. But he retired. So I'm trying to figure out if there's any good judges left.
There's probably a few, right? All the judges that I get in any future cases I may be involved with are incredible judges. But besides that, they all suck.
No. I can tell you right now that I have shit judges in this case, and they have not been good. at all. They have been really, really bad. Really bad. I mean, and there's what they did in the Tina Peters case, off subject, is after she was told she can't have a defense, and after she was told she can't have a defense, and after she was basically railroaded into not being able to speak about what happened in the election because she was forbidden by the judge. They told Tina, after he violated her rights probably a half dozen ways till Sunday, Tina, you have to be quiet. You have to fall on the mercy of the judge. And I was like, no, you need to file complaints against this judge we need to put 10,000 complaints out there against this judge.
I have an idea for a new outfit, a new judge outfit. Instead of the robe, we can do an orange jumpsuit that has a metal chain for a nice fashion look around it, and then maybe a couple handcuffs that come out of it. And we can have them do a fashion show inside of a building that has bars on the outside. I feel like that if we want to get the judges to upgrade, I think that's a good idea. That should be the new judge outfit. Is instead of a robe, it's just a prison outfit.
I don't think that's such a bad idea. Man, 2 judges and no arrests. We're arresting judges for crimes they committed. But how many crimes were committed over the 4 years that Biden was in office?
Too many to count.
And I wanted to be this upbeat day. This has to be an upbeat today. Or I don't want to be downbeat on anything. So we got a couple of arrests on judges. And Luigi Mangione, is that his name?
Yeah, Luigi Mangione.
Mangione. He pleaded not guilty. Even though you have him on video shooting the guy in the head. I mean, I guess you would have to plead not guilty, right?
I mean, not necessarily. I would say it would be probably better to plead guilty in his case because otherwise he may face the death penalty. Possibly that's what he wants, though. Maybe he's trying. I mean, theoretically, at least that does also give him a longer time in court and not in a prison cell, which maybe is more entertaining for him. So that could be the thinking behind it too. But yeah, I mean, if you're on video, obviously it wasn't an edited video. It was caught on camera. He was caught afterwards with a 3D printed gun, which he did not use, but he had the murder weapon. He had a note. The backpack was there. Everything all points to him. There's basically no possibility it was anyone else.
What if he's not guilty?
Allegedly. Just imagine Luigi sues everyone who said he killed someone. Oh no. I mean, what if, but I see where you're going with that though. What if this was a larger plot than just Luigi and he's the fall guy? Is that possible?
Is it possible? I mean, I only say that what if he's not guilty, knowing he's guilty, knowing that there's enough evidence that proves that he's guilty. I mean, they've done facial recognition. They've done all sorts of stuff in order to figure out that it was him. But if you look at what they've done in the media with radical leftists that are accused of doing something, they always have this angle that, in essence, can get them off of being guilty. And keep in mind that Luigi is in front of a federal judge in this case, who is super, super left. So are we going to run the same type of risk of there being some sort of way that they can maneuver through this where he could be let off?
It seems unlikely. I mean, you can't.
I hope you're right.
Like, what is the judge going to do? The judge is going to say, you get community service because you murdered a CEO instead of murdering someone who's...
Matt, life is cheap right now. I mean, look at how cheap they've made life over the last 4 or 5 years. Let's just go back to 2020. I mean, millions of Americans died on a manufactured deal, and the first thing they went to is putting people on ventilators. Oh, your BP, your oxygen level went to 90. We're going to sedate you and actually put you on a machine that, in essence, destroyed their insides. So, I mean, they knew what they were doing. It's as if they had a plan to kill Americans.
And they're standing outside wearing Luigi costumes, the character from Mario,
Yes.
to support him. There's thousands of people who will show up. That's more people than will show up to the protest for Austin Metcalf. They're all going to be there, and they show up and they say, we want him to be let off. The amount of people in this country who support him for killing the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian, is insane. It's shocking.
Oh, hold on a second. I got something more shocking. We have Susan Rice in the comments. This is the good Susan Rice. It's not the bad Susan Rice. It is Susan Rice's birthday. I think we should sing her happy birthday.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Plus, you get judges arrested for your birthday. You get a song. This is a perfect birthday. This is an amazing birthday right there.
And we should say happy belated birthday to S.A. Lion. But we got to sing to Apollo. Come on here with us. Should we sing Susan Rice a happy birthday? Now, just so we're clear, I'm not a singer, but Apollo in his previous life was. So he's going to embarrass us. But I still think we should wish her a happy birthday. You ready? Can I? Are we doing a serious voice?
Yeah, we'll just sing it. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh boy.
Happy birthday, dear Susan.
But not the bad one.
And Lions. Happy birthday to you.
Very nice. There you go. I feel I don't know if I should feel around. I feel uncomfortable.
Susan, happy birthday. Oh, well, who said no sound? Is there no sound?
What? Okay.
Oh, Tokyo Drum says no sound.
My mic was off before I started singing.
The bad Susan Rice got fired. Yes, she did. Joe's transition isn't going very well. This is not fun. Why would you say that? Tokyo Drum, did you turn off? You hit the mute button. I thought maybe the sound was off.
No, mine was muted going to the stream before we started singing, but then I turned it on when we were all singing together. So we were all singing. The whole live heard us. Don't worry.
Oh, I have sound. I even rubbed myself. I was like, oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Give me some oil.
Why are you gay?
All right. So Luigi Ravioli was in court and was laughing, Matt. He was smiling, sitting around, flipping through papers, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense.
And we know he has really bad back pain. So he's sitting there on the metal bed with no cushion every single day, probably in excruciating pain, and yet he thinks it's funny. He thinks it's funny.
All right. So we could probably I'm gonna take a left turn because I wanted you to see this. We talked about there was a stabbing that happened in Potomac. I think it was Potomac High School in Virginia. And the guy got stabbed. I don't know what happened with that guy. But we have a bigger problem. And the bigger problem is that our society is falling into a state of, I think, constant disrepair. We are, Apollo, I just put a thing in there, a video in there I want you to play. I haven't even told Matt yet what this video is. I just want to get his thoughts on this before I show it. But this happened in a school in Atlanta.
I got it.
That's where I grew up, by the way.
Yeah.
So. I was in a school. I think I saw the video on the small TV there. I think I've not only experienced something similar. I've witnessed dozens of fights at the school that I went to when I was younger. Dozens. It was very regular, and I'm sure it's way worse now than it was back then.
I was in fights all the time. I mean, I was in fights all the time. I mean, because I'm a smart ass, right? And I don't like people picking on other people. And so I would look for it. I would look for people to pick on somebody else, and I'd be like, hey, just lay off them. That's all you'd have to say. Right? And they're like, lay off them. What are you going to do? I'm like, man, I'm going to whoop the, I'm going to beat the brakes off you. But this one is different. See, the rules are changing. There's such a lack of disregard. And I want to ask you why. And I want the audience to understand why. But I'm going to ask you why after this. Do we have the video ready? This is the principal of a school that is getting sucker punched and beat up by not one person in the school, not one student, but a mob of students. Let's go ahead and play it.
Get your ass one, bro.
That's the principal of a high school.
Absolutely no respect. None at all. And everyone filming, saying, World Star, World Star. Oh my gosh, look, he's beating up the principal. World Star, World Star. It's not only aggravating, it makes you want to start a new country, basically. It's like it's over. I mean, how can we have a respectful society when people aren't even willing to treat their principals, the teachers, the people who are leaders of the school with respect?
Wait, I mean, you talk, but I mean, let me just give you a reason why. Let's just call it what it is. Our leaders are shit. I mean, they're shit. You know, I
mean, the principal threw a pretty good punch, though. I mean, you saw the right hand. That was pretty.
Yeah, he almost
pretty
broke
impressive.
his thumb. Though. You see, he tucked his thumb.
Oh yeah.
Never tuck your thumb. Always keep your hands loose, right?
Yeah.
More power, more pain when you keep your hands loose. But what do they have to look up to? You got a bunch of atheists that are out there trying to tell you to cut off your penises. You got a bunch of people out there grooming children. You got them stealing your rights, your rights at the state house and acting like you're slaves. You got the cops beating up on people in the street. I'm sorry. Look, man, they don't beat up people in my neighborhood, but go to Denver. They'll shit on you as if it's just they don't care who you are. They don't care. They don't care. And I'm talking, you could be walking by and just look at a cop the wrong way in a and I understand the police officer's perspective too. He's got to deal with these street thugs. But it's a self-perpetuating deal because the people in the biggest positions in our country are showing the world that the rules don't apply. We have gone into a state of anarchy. Like the rules don't apply. You can persecute people at will. You can throw people in jail for little things. You can let criminals out on the street. The rules only apply when they want the rules to apply. And that's what you get. That's what you get.
Who do you think those kids are listening to? Who do you think they have a poster of in their room? Who do you think that they look up to and want to be like? Is it maybe MLK?
No.
Must be a president?
No, it was MLK in my time. It was MLK in my time. I know a lot about MLK.
It's rappers. It's people who are with hose and sounds weird to say. That's who it is. That's who these people are looking
with hose.
With the hose.
With the hose.
Got the hose on. It's Friday, and we got the hose, just like all the judges. got the hose coming in the back door. But yeah, no, it's true. That's what people look up to now. And it's especially in the Black culture. Young Black people are looking up to that at a higher rate than anyone else by a significant margin. And they're told they're supposed to.
All right, but let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Can we get contrarian here? Can I piss off more of the audience?
You're welcome to.
Where is there opportunity in the Black community? They're told to go to school. They graduated, by the way, inside of a substandard education. Then they're told to go to college and that they're entitled to it. They're being held down by the white man. By the way, there's white liberal women. There's Margaret Sangerville, and you have Planned Parenthood, where you have abortion clinics that are killing babies at just a unhealthy clip. So do you see United Airlines going down in the inner city and say, hey, who on here wants to be a pilot?
I would hope not. I don't think we want. We don't need any more DEI pilots.
But see, that's my point. It's DEI because we've destroyed everything about that community. I mean, think about it.
But why is it our job to make people who are in other communities? I mean, shouldn't every community lift themselves up? Shouldn't everything be created from the ground up? Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
Yeah, but what if you looked at it from the standpoint of putting a cap on it? They cap it. Only a few can get out. It's like winning the lottery.
I mean, it is true that these young kids think the only way that they can achieve success and not have to get a job they hate is by becoming a rapper or by going to the NFL. And it's not just Black kids, by the way. There's plenty of white kids that are in the same boat. There aren't a lot of leaders who are encouraging you to start businesses. And I think that's true in every community. The amount of white kids who want to go and start a $1 billion company is way lower than the amount of white kids or kids of any color who want to go and do something like become a singer or become some retarded ex-influencer like Matt Wallace. They want to grow up and they want to put red circles on
Matt Wallace
pictures.
in the house?
Where's Matt Wallace? they want to put red circles on pictures.
Yeah.
not put a red thing of fries in the bag, which makes sense. Why would you want to do that? And the job opportunities that are available today, because they let all the industries go elsewhere, are awful. You don't have good jobs anymore. You don't have the same opportunities where you can get one person to lead the family, the mom stays at home, and you can take care of everyone and enjoy your job and be proud of it. It doesn't exist. And if it does, it's rare. It's very, very, very rare.
All right. So, it doesn't exist, but there's a formula for it. There has to be. There has to be a communist formula for it. And here's what the village idiots, the people that are in the middle of this, they don't understand, is that the system will let them break the law until they have the density where the other people that are tired of them breaking the law come in and just destroy them, or communism wins. And then the communists just destroy everybody. Right? So they'll let you do it. I mean, you can't just walk around in China committing crimes. They just kill you. I mean, they literally just kill you.
You'll disappear.
You're done.
Yeah.
So they're going to do the same thing here. They're going to do the same thing inside of our country. I mean, this is just all a part of the plan. And so, I've said that we got to go into that environment and be like, look, why is it that your education sucks? Why is it you can't read? Why is it you can't write? Why is it that? But you know what you can do? You know how to put a condom on when you're in second grade. It's really good. And by the way, why do you talk the way you talk? See, I've had a conversation with a friend of mine today. You see Philip Anderson? You know Philip Anderson?
Yeah, the whitest guy in the world after Beheezy.
Dude, he is white. He is whiter. He is whiter. We got to get him on. He is whiter than
Philip.
He's awesome.
He is awesome.
Right? He's got a little bit of a potty mouth, but he's not only articulate, he is ridiculously smart. Okay? What's Philip doing today?
Working a job, I would imagine.
What's he doing?
I actually don't know what he does. What does he do?
He makes like $17 an hour.
Yeah.
Like that guy is super smart and he makes $17 an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy how our society is now rewarding mediocrity. And obviously Philip is capable. Philip could start a business right now and be more successful than 90% of people who are starting businesses. And he's making $17 an hour.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
And I mean, I didn't even realize until last night when I was talking to him. And I went to send him a text message like, you know, I don't think anybody in my entire company makes $17 an hour. Any of my companies. I pay people at the gun store more than $17 an hour. So I look at it and go, man, it doesn't jive. And I got to ask why. Like, why is this guy not doing? I mean, I do realize that he brings a lot of junk in the trunk as far as he has a high level of regard for our country. Like, he loves our country. He would travel all over the place. I mean, his passion is in this, right? It's in creating equality.
I mean, he went to Washington, D.C. to try to hold our government accountable on January 6th.
Sent 350,000 text messages to people to try and gather votes using the, I mean, he didn't defend Scott Pressler, but he defended the work that everyone did on the ground to get stuff done. I mean, he is highly committed to justice. He has a meter for doing the right thing. Why is he only making $17 an hour?
Probably because of where he lives. I would imagine there's not a lot of opportunity, and it's hard to go and afford a house these days. If you're making $17 an hour and you want to say, okay, I'm going to go somewhere with a better opportunity, good luck finding a house. You want to pay 7% interest rate on a house that costs twice as much as it did 5 years ago? Do you want to pay $3,000 a month for a rent that you're never going to get back a single penny of that money, and you have to continue paying it to a landlord who just owns the building, probably doesn't even care. The squatters come in, makes the cost go up. It's a ridiculous state of our society that we're in right now. It's not as good as it used to be, and it's because, in part, they let a bunch of people from other countries come over, and now we look like more like those countries. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons.
Is that really why, though?
I think so. I think that's a big part of it. I mean, it used to be, our country used to be primarily people who shared ancestry with the founders of our country, who were all the greatest people from around the world, men and women, decided to come here and create the best country ever. That's what happened. And we've gone from a country that was largely of that bloodline to a country that is so diverse and has so many different groups of people, and the politicians are all corrupt, and so many people coming in from different countries want to vote for those same corrupt politicians. And it's taken our society. The average IQ has gone down like 15 points from where it was 50 years ago. Like, what do you expect? What do you expect to happen when you take a country and you fundamentally change it in every way? This is what we get.
Yeah. So I do want to report this. You're right. I'll put this in there for a little later. My issue is that, here, I put that in there. My issue is that we have to come up with a solution, because right now we're off the cliff. We're off the cliff. Like, we are debating the ridiculous. And I don't know, Matt, if you can, and I said this morning, I feel like I've wasted the last 4.5 years of my life. And wasted would be an understatement. And you would say, Joey, you didn't waste your deal. And I look at the fact that we got President Trump back into office, but that they stole nearly 2/3 of all the elections down ballot. 2/3. Like, I was going through the numbers of who became, and in Colorado, it's even worse. In Colorado, I mean, it's way worse. They bucked the national trend at a rate, but this is the home of Dominion. So entrenched with the leadership in this state that they have elected radicals in a way that's just, it's actually gross. It's uncomfortable for people on the street. Like, even people that are Democrats, they're like, I'm uncomfortable with this. I didn't vote for this. You said that you went and asked questions about while you're on the street, right? And you asked questions. What were we talking about when you said that? You just asked people.
You mean when I was in Canada?
Yeah.
I was asking people if they like Trudeau.
Yeah. Walk on the street and ask people if they vote for Democrats. Well, run into a Democrat. You can't. They won't. They're like, no, I've been trying to vote against this. Same thing. But if we look at it from that perspective, if we look at it from the perspective of what's happening in our country right now, and I feel like I wasted 4.5 years because we haven't addressed any of the problems. And now you got kids beating up principals, you got kids that are stabbing each other. And then you have people that are raising money on the fact that the person that actually did the stabbing, it makes $500,000. I just can't make sense of it.
He's sitting in his mansion right now. Probably, he could even be watching the show. You never know. But he's probably sitting in his mansion, enjoying a nice meal, while Austin is literally dead in a coffin right now. That's the current state of reality in the world we live in.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
No.
I can't.
You can't. You've been shut down. No questions allowed. Go ahead. Ask me the question.
What's Joe Ellis doing right now? What's the dude doing right now?
Yeah, okay. I go back to this. No, you can't ask me. You can't ask me any questions. My instinct was right. I called it.
Joe, I was talking to Matt about this before. I was like, bro, do they even know that you're not where you are? He's in. Just so everybody knows, he's in. Where you at? Puerto Rico.
He's actually telling the truth. I'm currently not a resident. That is true.
You are. You're in Puerto Rico.
That's correct. That is accurate.
I'm still trying to. Can we talk a little bit about this, because we haven't really talked about it a lot.
We're almost ready. We'll be there soon. We'll be ready soon.
It's absurd. We're like debating the ridiculous, and there's another ridiculous. That somebody would go on TMZ and say they're suing you for putting out on the internet what was on the internet, sharing something.
It's insane that we live in a world where you can basically push frivolous lawsuits against people, try to use it to get publicity or whatever. And there's another very high profile example of that right now, which is in the deck, by the way, which is Shannon Sharpe, who works for ESPN. I'm changing the subject. I'm changing the subject a little bit, but it's the same. It's a very similar thing. It's a smooth transition, Joe. It's a smooth enough transition.
That was smooth.
Very smooth.
Oh, and you know what didn't make TMZ though? You at least made TMZ.
No, the Shannon Sharpe thing was everywhere. It got like 50 million views when he posted about it. So Shannon Sharpe.
Okay, let's talk about Shannon Sharpe.
Let's talk about Shannon Sharpe.
All right, I'm sorry. That's just funny because you had that look on it. Like if you could throw something at me right now, we purposely took all things you could throw away from me.
I noticed the battle axe used to be sitting right there, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Where's my Burma when I need it?
So should we talk about Shannon Sharpe? He got sued for over $50 million over alleged rapes. Right? $50 million.
Right after getting an $100 million contract, which after taxes is actually worth about $50 million. So she wants it all. She wants it all.
But he got set up and he was going to give her $10 million. So there was a deal out there to give him $10 million to give, and they're like, no, we can get more. So he said he's just been allegedly raping a woman on multiple occasions, and a plaintiff in the case is asking for tens of millions in damages. Lawsuit obtained by TMZ Sport was filed by a Jane Doe on Sunday in Nevada, although he made sure it wasn't Jane Doe. After he says Shannon brutally sexually assaulted on several times at the end of 2024. According to the suit, Doe met Sharpe in 2023 at a gym in Los Angeles when she was 20 years old and he was in his mid-50s. She stated in the doc during the first encounter, Sharpe told her he would buy her fake boobies if she won a weight loss competition with him. She wrote about the suit. Sharpe proceeded to pursue her relentlessly, calling, texting, and demanding they come to his Beverly Glen mansion.
Well, there it is. He called her fat. That explains it. Like, who invites a woman to win a weight loss competition? What? That's a weird way of flirting. And she's not fat, by the way. So
yeah, she's not. But he got accused by, and she says 20, he says 19, and it was an OnlyFans star, Gabriella Zuninga, and her lawyer Tony Busby. Now, I want to tell you that Tony Busby allegedly see has done these shakedowns before, and this is what Shannon Sharpe. This is how he responded. Let's go ahead and play it.
And her Instagram's grown by 250,000 followers too.
So did Joe Ellis.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do.
So supposedly, to get into further details, she invited him in the front door, allegedly, and then he went in the back door, allegedly. And that I'm serious. I'm not making that up. That's supposedly that was the extent of the sexual assault or whatever the object. I think there may have been more to it too, but I heard that was supposedly part of it. Which, I mean, the fact that he offered 10 million, there has to be maybe some guilt associated if he's willing to do that, right? Why? I mean, I guess he just wants to protect his name, but he could offer a few million. Why is he offering that much?
Yeah. So, I think that, let me see if I have the.
Is that confirmed, by the way? Because I heard that too, but I didn't hear him say it directly. Supposedly he said that.
XC90.
Okay, what is this? This is a TMG podcast. Oh, this is Shannon Sharpe. I was trying to see if it had. There was a video. Doe claimed. Hey, can we go in the TMZ video if we can, or TMZ article? And there's how many seconds it is long? It's like 20, 25 seconds. Yeah, is that the one where the thing is visible at where they had a gun? He yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Yeah. There's one just below it. I mean, look, Shannon Sharpe has been very open about the fact the reason why he's not married is because he does not trust women at all. I mean, this isn't the first time he's had issues.
You don't trust 19-year-old OnlyFans models? I feel like they're.
I mean, what does a 60-year-old dude want with a 19-year-old OnlyFans model?
Well, if you listen to the video, he apparently was doing race play with her and saying, I'm not going to repeat the exact words, but something along the lines of, "Would you like a black man to choke you?" Basically, it's weird stuff. It's very weird stuff.
But she had another recording where she recorded it.
Yeah,
where she said, "You're going to choke me again."
And she set it up on purpose that way. I mean, that's what's crazy is she was recording and then trying to say something that would get him to then admit what happened on camera, basically.
But what was weird about it is that he didn't respond that way. Like, it didn't feel like it responded. It seemed like a setup.
It did. Yeah.
But it takes you back to the entire thing where nothing is sacred. You can't tell the truth. You can't even operate in that environment where you tell the truth because you're liable to get put in an environment where they sue you for $50 million.
Imagine if you just had a wife and kids and then didn't have to worry about any of this. Wouldn't that be a nicer life? Wouldn't that be a more fulfilling, happier journey through the earth? The earth experience.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. But the problem is that we have a media today. Let's call the media what that is. Just a bunch of feckless little cowards. Little people. What's up?
Yeah, I mean they're willing to push any agenda. This is obviously almost certainly a ploy to get more followers, to get more money. All you have to do is have any sort of relationship in any capacity with someone who has a lot of money in today's society. And then if you are evil enough, you can take advantage of that person, make false allegations, and cash in big time, grow your social media following. How many subscribers has she gotten on OnlyFans from this? Probably a lot. Way too many than she deserves. And what's the downside? If she's lying, what happens to her? Nothing. She doesn't get arrested. She doesn't owe any money. She just has it all go away and gets to keep all of the fame and fortune that she got along the way.
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of what they did to Kobe Bryant. You know, I mean, he was, I don't know. Let's go ahead and play it. Can we play it? Do we have it? A couple minute deal?
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
That's not a sexual assault. She's obviously that's what they were doing for their. That's she's making it sound like, oh, I don't want to be choked. Like that's like she's doing that in a sexual way. Obviously, anyone who listens to that can tell. And
Jeff,
he's playing along with
Jeff
what she
says
wants
she
to
sounds
do.
smart. Yeah. This is our society: beating up principals, stabbing people,
choking women,
and choking women, and OnlyFans. I mean, I'm trying to figure out where we are right now. I really am. So I said before, 4.5 years I've wasted my life. 4.5 years. I've been fighting for what? Hasn't gotten better. It's gotten worse. Because if you don't solve the problem, it's the same thing, man. If you have cancer in your arm, you got to cut the cancer out. You got to get rid of the cancer, or it will spread. And what we have right now is, and it affects your generation long before it affects mine. Like I'm 3/4 of the. I'm checking out. I'm on the final. You know. Final countdown, man. I'm there. Right? I mean, I got a couple more innings left. But you're coming up into this. Like this is you got another 60 years of this stuff and children.
Oh God, don't remind me. I got it. How many more years do I have to deal with this stuff? 60 more years.
Yeah, because by the time you're my age, right? They're going to tell you got to live another 40 years.
Oh no.
They're going to say your average life expectancy.
Oh, no.
If you survive the purge, which is not, you might not survive the purge. I mean, they are trying to kill off 3/4 of, or if not more, of the population.
And there's a larger than 0% chance of an asteroid striking us this year as well. So that's we have that, we at least we have that to look forward to. Maybe we won't have to deal with this for 80 years. We may just have the asteroid take care of the oh god, that's actually terrifying. Imagine that. Imagine an asteroid. I mean, I'm not making that up, by the way. There's a real story of an asteroid that has a greater than 0% chance. It's very small, I believe less than 1%, but it could hit Earth and wipe us all out this year.
This year?
I believe so. It's either this year or next year, but it's coming up soon.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question. And I mean, Shannon Sharpe was a good example of kind of what this is happening right now. But nobody understands being in that environment until you're in that environment, which is why I brought up the Joe stuff, because I know getting sued's not fun. Yeah, technically you haven't been sued yet, but they sure talked about it on TMZ. But as you look at that, you look at all the other stuff we're doing. We're now putting a new pope in. So you have a new pope going into Catholic Church. Have you looked into who's going to be the next pope?
Yeah, so there's around a 60% chance it'll be someone bad, I've calculated, and a 40% chance it'll be someone good, approximately. That's what I'm looking at. So there's the names of them are I can pull it up. Well, why don't I pull it up? But
Erdo is probably the fan favorite of most conservatives, and Syrah is also really popular. For those of you that are Catholic, that understand this stuff, there is a
so I think the two that have the highest chance to win that would be bad are Luis Antonio Tego and Peter Turkson, then Pietro Parolin. And these I would memorize these names for the show, but it's not they're too difficult. And then Matteo Zuppi, Pier Battista Pizzaballa. So that very, very, very non-American names. But the highest chance to win currently is Pietro Parolin at 29%. And if you look into him a little bit, he is definitely someone who's further to the right than Francis by a significant margin. So there's some hope there. And 8% below him, though, is Luis Antonio Tego, who I think would actually be worse than Francis, as well as Peter Turkson, who we don't know for sure. He could be good.
Did you get that off a betting site?
I did, actually. Yeah, I did. I got that off a betting site. 29% on Polymarket, which, by the way, it is technically forbidden to bet. So don't actually bet on it. You can use it if you want to look at the odds. Don't bet on it. It's you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to bet on it.
And which one was that?
The odds for the Pope, you mean?
Yeah, which one did you say was the best?
Yeah, Pietro Parolin, the best that has a chance to win. And he's not perfect, but he does have more conservative values than most of the other people who have a chance to win. Is it called winning? I guess it's winning. I mean,
he's the one that was playing drums.
Yeah.
Did you see that online? He was playing drums.
Play the video. Yeah, see if you can find the video of him playing drums.
He was literally playing drums. He was Pietro Parolin. So the two that I like the most, and people are that might not understand the significance of this. The Vatican is a country. It's the smallest country in the world, but it is a country, right? And it wields an entire it wields this power over in ways that I don't know if you can really quantify it. But so this is an important, in my opinion, this is an important thing, because if you look at through history, who ends up becoming the Pope, especially right now, given all of the things that have come true. And I don't want to say that it's, that we're in Revelations, and we might be in Revelations. This might be the end times. But if you look at what they said would happen after Pope Francis, which they elected Pope Francis knowing that there was this thing 900 years ago, that said that after Pope Francis, the next pope would be here for the second coming. Do you think you'll be alive for the second coming?
It's starting to look that way. It really is. It's starting to look like the second coming is closer than we think. How much longer can we keep going like this as a society, as a world? We can't. At some point, probably soon, I believe we will experience that.
Yeah, Teresa says we don't need a pope. Well, you got it. Unfortunately, that they will go in and they will elect the pope. But the significance, the historical significance of it, put aside the fact that Pope Francis let 100 transgenders into the Vatican. I mean, that to me, I don't even think he was in his right mind. He couldn't have been. I mean, he can make a lot of choices and say a lot of things. I was once told that he was the Pope of ambiguity, that he was so milquetoast that you could never pin him down as far as what he believed. And the more and more I read about him, the worse it gets. But this papal pick will be the most important from the standpoint of if you go left of Francis, I don't think the church survives. Would you agree?
Well, it'll survive, but it'll be extremely tarnished and it'll be a shell of what it's capable of being, for sure.
Look, the Catholic Church used to have a huge impact on societal norms. Right?
It should.
It was the one thing. The church, and not just the Catholic Church, but we could even look at what happened with the Lutheran Church and some of the other churches. They would go to conferences together. Like the Catholic leadership, the Lutheran leadership, the Coptic Christians, they would all go to these different, and they would talk about, what's happening in society in different parts of the world. And this happened, I think, up until the late 90s. Was it late 90s? I might be off on this. Maybe somebody in the comments, you can tell me what you think of this. But they stopped doing it. They stopped having these unification meetings, at least publicly, and started accepting the status quo inside of society as that new norm.
I'm not sure if we've ever needed a strong Christianity more than we do right now.
I agree. So that leads me to, what does that mean? And this will be the hardest part about this entire show, right? This is the hardest conversation to have, because how do you defeat the ethos inside of, I'm going to tell you how I did at my company. I fired everybody. I just walked around like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. I put everybody on notice, and I was like, I had a firing spree. 29 people, boom, 6 days, boom, gone. 11 people over 3 days, boom, gone. And I had to change the ethos very quickly. And then you had people that straggled around like, I can't believe you fired my friend, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, you're fired too, get out. Right? I mean, I look like the soup kitchen. This was a soup Nazi on Seinfeld. I mean, I was that guy. I was like, I don't really care what you think. How do you not do that same sort of rip the Band-Aid off mentality inside of our society and expect for it to survive? Cancer, no matter how small, whether it be molecular, all the way up to a metastasized big tumor, that cancer is always the same. You got to cut it out.
At some point, the people who want good to prevail have to stand up, because evil, the saying is, evil never goes and cowers on its own. Evil never just says, okay, I'm done. I'm just not going to keep trying anymore. The only way to defeat evil is for those who want good to prevail to go out and defeat it, to fight in whatever capacities is most advantageous to take down that force and to win. You have to have that happen, or else we'll continue to fall further and further into the depths of a society that is harmful mostly to children than anyone else and is taking everyone down with it.
So what do you think the answer is then? How do we get past this?
Start a new country. It's at that point where I'm ready. Let's go find some land. We need a good port. We need some mountains, maybe some good city structure, and we'll just say, all right, this is our new country. Everyone who's cool, everyone who wants to be part of a good society, just come onto our country. At this point, how else? We can 1776 it if we need to, but It may be just easier to start a new country. I'm thinking that's my opinion on it.
All right, so let me ask you a question. And I see the comments. You have people that say that, the Catholic Church is not a church. I disagree with you, Jeff. Sorry, I'm going to disagree with you. But you have other people that have said that as well. That the Catholic Church is bad. The church is only as bad as the people that are actually in it allow it to be, right? And there's a lot of history behind the Catholic Church. So I have a hard time condemning different faiths. And I think we've come to that place now where we have different sects of Christianity, and everyone's trying to fight against everybody else. So it's like this huge battle of who's gathering ground, right? But I don't see the Catholic Church actually fighting. I don't see. I see milquetoast from the Christian Church. You have these pastoral communities that are created out of these theological schools, and they come out and they basically have turned men into, and maybe it's a soy milk, I don't know, but I feel like they've turned men into something they're not. They turned them into cowards and pathetic people that care about their Xbox more than they do their relationships.
A lot of it is the food. That's not an exaggeration. If you look at the testosterone levels amongst men over the last 50 years, the chart is astonishing. The amount it's gone down, the ability to reproduce goes along with that as well. So we're seeing less reproduction. We are seeing men that aren't capable of fighting in the way that men are naturally supposed to be able to, biologically speaking. They don't have the anger they need. They don't have the ability to take over with a rage that is justified and to go and fight. And when that's missing, evil is going to have a much easier time in society. It's not even a debate.
Okay. So we're at that place now. And what we're doing is not working. Sitting in a church and praying is not working. It's not working. Like we got out. We got President Trump elected because people got out and did. And I'm talking about Trump being the savior of all of this, but I'm saying that how do you defeat evil without force? How do you? They've already said it to me that I want people to hang for their misgivings against the American people. I do. I 100% do. I know lots of people that have lost their mothers, fathers, daughters, husbands, wives, right? Don't we want to give them a chance? Don't we want to give them a chance to have a good life? And yet, right now, it's all being stripped from them. Our education standards are shit. Our leadership is shit. On a state-by-state basis, they have put things in place that are supposed to make us more comfortable, to make it easier, more convenient. Mail-in ballots. Like there's no effort that goes into being a part of a good citizenry or a part of a good community. And then you have OnlyFans, and you have Open Society that's out there talking about legalizing the trafficking of women and children. I mean, that's what's happening. I mean, they want to legalize it. And we do want to talk about. I want to talk about scripture, but I want to talk about when do we get talking about it? Like when do we get past the talking? When do we get to the part where we do? Is that even something in the appetite for your generation? I mean, do you think your generation's prepared for that?
I'm prepared to put the people who have perpetrated the most evil in prison for the rest of their life. I don't see it as my place personally to take the life. I think God at the end will judge based on the actions you've taken on earth. But I do see it as our place right now to make sure those people are incapable of hurting us anymore. And it doesn't mean we have to kill them. It means we have to make sure that they are sitting in a cell for the rest of their lives, and they cannot continue to harm our children, continue to harm our friends, our society, to push vaccines that they know hurt us and don't actually help. That's what it takes. And that's what I absolutely have the fight to do. Unfortunately, a lot of people in the younger generations don't. And it's hard. You can't do it by yourself. You need a lot of people in order to actually make change happen. And there may not be enough. There may not be enough people right now who are willing to stand up and fight.
The kids are young, right?
They're very young. Yeah, they're still babies.
All right, we're gonna end the show on something that is actually not funny, but something you need to know about. And this is what we were talking about before: the degeneracy that we're kind of welcoming into our midst. If you would have 20 years ago said anything about this, if you would have even mentioned this at all, it would have set off. People would have literally hurt people. Now, 20 years later, you're not allowed to hurt people. Only thugs in schools are allowed to hurt people, and then degenerate judges are allowed to let them off. But I want to play something for you if you can, to just show you how crazy this is. There is a sex and masturbation camp for children in Colorado. Now, I want you to listen to what this maniac is saying. It's 4 minutes.
It's disgusting.
You ready for this?
I'm never going to be ready for this, but go ahead and play it.
This camp is rooted in justice and taught through a framework of queer theory, where children can go touch. I want you to listen to what they're saying here. I think parents should go in there and literally wipe the streets with these people. Figuratively. Allegedly.
I think parents should allegedly do that.
Listen to this part. Where children go to touch and play with condoms, learn porn literacy, and talk about transition plans.
It's not a parody. This is real. This is a real thing that is happening. And there are parents, by the way, who are taking their kids to participate in this. A very, unfortunately, real thing.
It gets worse. What I just said is not even the tip of the iceberg. That's not even it. These are the highlights of this meeting that they had. They're going to talk about, I had to look this up. I didn't know what a dental dam is. Sorry. But they talk about playing with condoms and dental dams with the kids. Right? Ready? With the kids and the parents. So the parents participate in the behavior of masturbation and playing with these tools together.
And these are young kids too, by the way. I mean, you have to be, the level, the freaks that are showing up to this, that are taking their kids to this, how is that? I keep watching stuff like this happen and wondering, this can't be real, right? And I'm gonna wake up, it's a dream. There can't really be a masturbation and sex camp where kids play with that stuff with their parents. That can't be real.
With parents. In other words, they can collectively get together and move around in this deal. Now, let me just tell you something else. It's gonna happen. The Renee Crown Wellness Institute and Boulder Valley Health Center's parent orientation call. They had this call for the sex ed summer camp. It's for 5th and 8th graders, and it's happening in July. It's free. It's free. It is funded by your tax dollars. By your tax dollars. And by the way, when you're done piddling someone else's children, because you're allowed to in the sex camp, when you go there, imagine being a parent, forcing your kid to go so that you can be a pedophile among other children. Just imagine that. I mean, this is what the left wants. This is, and I just said before, bro. I said before, what are we going to do? And you're like, man, I don't think we have an appetite for violence. How do you protect children? Remember, they're grooming them in the school, then preparing them to go to these summer camps, then masturbating with these children, Teaching them how to use tools. Forget what I said. Forget what I said. I want you to just hear it from their words. Here, listen to their words. Let's play the video.
So our primary themes during Sex Ed Summer Camp that will be existing every single day along the way are power, justice, consent, and media literacy. And so these will be rooted from disability justice and queer theory practices, and they'll be our primary threads that connect us throughout all of our lessons and activities and projects that we will all be developing together. Queer theory of education, a huge part of it is actually centering the most marginalized. And so making sure that our lessons feel welcome to queer people, to trans people, to everybody in the space. We did ultimately decide that the official name is Sex Ed Summer Camp because we want to kind of start to disrupt this idea of it being something that we shouldn't be talking about or like uncomfortable to share. We are going to have pre-surveys and post-surveys. And so some of the questions will be like, hey, like how comfortable are you talking to your caregiver, or vice versa for the caregiver, your young human, about sex, bodies, and relationships? And then throughout the 2 weeks, we will then ask a similar question at the end and see how that changes. Some of the art projects that you'll get to actually like see at the end of the camp are different like galaxies of identity that we are creating. We are planning on like opening up conversations about like sexualized media.
During our media day, we're going to create a piece of media that actually sends the messages about consent and bodies and relationships. One of the most exciting things about this camp is that we get to root it in justice. Being rooted in justice means that our conversations really center around there's no wrong way to have a body. As long as nothing hurts, everything about you
as long as nothing hurts
is amazing. And you get to decide what you do with your body and what you don't do.
We'll also be talking about like condoms and dental dams and tools that people can use to actually like act as the barrier between the bodies. Absolutely. In that week before camp, we can definitely like bring some of the tools that like our campers will get to see and actually like play with and experience. We're planning on bringing all of the different like contraceptive methods and a lot of the tools that are used for preventing sexually transmitted infections, as well as puberty tools in person for campers to actually touch and play with and like demystify in a way as well. So we can do that for caregivers too. It could be kind of a fun opening activity to get to know each other as well. So that final day, that Friday, we're going to host a big party, and all campers will get to invite their caregivers and any friends that they feel comfortable inviting. And they get to show off some of their skills, some of their knowledge, some of the cool things that they got to learn throughout the 2 weeks. So they get to do a lot of that creation and development themselves. Yes, absolutely. We talk about condoms, where to get condoms, how to use condoms, and all of the different steps. We actually have a whole activity that is like putting all of the steps on how to use a condom in the correct order, because there's actually over 12 steps. And most young people are really shocked by that number. And so absolutely. And we also every single day will be talking about the resources that people can use to gather more information about that day's topic. And so on the day that we discuss condoms, it will be absolutely about like where can people get either free or pay for condoms.
So one of the ideas for a project at the end of the 2 weeks during the party would be that the young people actually would get and the campers would get to show you all what they learned in terms of like the hands-on stuff too.
Our clinic does gender affirming care services. We do these services for 16 and 17-year-olds, so it'd be like a little bit later. But these are definitely conversations that all of us are comfortable having and have had before. And we can also connect them with other resources that might be able to more directly help them with the age that they are at. But absolutely, we will make sure that both you and your young person feel like we can make sure that we have some sort of communication about making sure that that those plans come to fruition in a way that feels right to feels right to your camper. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah. We also want to make sure that you know that there's an opportunity to get a gift card if you fill out the survey.
Hands on. They're going to
for-
peddle children.
Did you get that last part? It's for profit. It's
Yeah.
because they own a clinic. So they take your kids here. Let us take control of your kid, and then we're going to convince them
Gender
they
affirming
need
care.
$100,000 transgender surgery
Yes.
plus the care afterwards. And
Yeah.
you're gonna pay that evil witch right there on the screen. You're gonna pay her or him, whatever it is. You're gonna pay in order to have your kid mutilated, and it's not gonna be your choice, because if you say no, then the government takes your kid away. That's what they're setting up. My God! And then, by the way, that's the first time I saw that clip.
Dude, your mouth was like this.
I can't. They're saying that on camera. They're willing to. They're comfortably saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to use dental dams, and we're going to teach children how to use dental dams." I didn't know what that was either, by the way. A dental dam is something you use.
Yeah, you can say it.
I don't want to. I don't even want to say it. A dental dam.
Just go Google it, because I
it.
had to Google it.
Google it. I don't want to say it, especially in this context. But Google what that is. Look up what a dental dam is, and then think about the fact they're using that in the context of teaching children. What? How? And they feel comfortable. They think the society that we live in will embrace them for publicly saying that. Will reward them. They'll feel a sense of gratification from it. No pun intended. Unfortunately, I have to add that, because they probably are sick, twisted. They probably have other motivations besides just making money. Let's just put it that way.
So let me just tell you something else. You ready?
Yeah.
By the way, if you actually archive, go to archive. You know the one that's been taken down, right? The one that's been taken down. You said that this one seems to be taken down. Go to archive. No. So now they took that page down. So there's been enough people that have yelled about this. They took it down. But that's not all, right? If you go to archive.org, on the CU Boulder bulletin board, the Buff bulletin board, free sex ed summer camp for 5th to 8th graders. Now, they were nice enough to put an email address on it. So I'm going to go ahead and take that email address for you. And let me see if I can send that over to you, Apollo. This should make you happy.
Yeah, why don't we all send them a friendly email encouraging them and telling them how much we love it?
I think you should be. See if I can get a full picture of this.
I'm going to post about this, by the way. I'm going to post about this on X. This needs to go viral, and everyone needs to see what these monsters are doing.
Yeah, there you go. I just put a picture of it for you. So CU took it down, but not before the internet's not forever, because it is forever. But this is you can go ahead and put it up. This is on the CU Buffs bulletin board, and there's an email address. So I want you guys all to be as disrespectful as you possibly can. Okay? I want you to be so disrespectful that it's past disrespectful. It is GISLab, GISTLAB, at colorado.edu. That's GISTLAB at colorado.edu. I think that everyone should send CU the fact that they are supporting pedophilia and the grooming and the raping and the peddling of children. They should say something about that.
And the mutilation as well. That's literally
it's leading to mutilation. This is actually to groom them into the environment where they'll cut their penises off. Yeah. There you go. You can see it. The Renee Crown Wellness Institute. By the way, does the Renee Crown Wellness Institute, do they have a website? Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's a part of CU. It's a part of CU Boulder. So this deal of grooming your children to create their own importance is a part of a federally funded school that is grooming children
and profiting from it.
I mean, really, what it comes down to. How do you crush? How do you kill kids growing up and get it? Look, I'm going to say it again. I don't know how we get past any of this without serious force. Tell me. I'm all ears.
The El Salvador prison, I feel like, would be a pretty nice place for a lot of these people to spend a significant portion of time, 25 to life. That sounds like the right solution to me, because if nothing's done,
these are judges. These are DAs. These are educators. These are professors. These are doctors. Yeah, I mean, these are people that are that they're supposed to be good people that are absolutely evil pieces of trash that are promoting the raping of children, normalizing it even.
Do you think they're still going to go through with it?
Yeah, they didn't take it down. It's still up. Show the other link. They have the youth BOCO youth deal.
I mean, there's going to be a big protest outside of this. There has to be
big protest.
There has to be people who are standing in the way.
I would be there. I'll be there, and I would dare Antifa to show up. Dare them as a counter protest, because I can tell you right now, of the fathers that I've talked to about this, I don't know any of them that aren't like, I want to tear these people's face off. And what's even more terrible about this is that they're separating out the 5th and 6th graders and the 7th and 8th graders. So they're saying July 7th through the 18th, Monday through Friday, is 5th and 6th graders, and then July 21st to August 1st, Monday through Friday, is 7th and 8th graders.
Do you know how small a 5th grader is? Have you? Do you realize that's a little kid. That is a little child.
I mean, 5th graders, just so you know, they're 10 years old.
That's crazy.
They're 10 years old. 5th graders are 10 years old. Maybe 11. Hasn't hit puberty. I mean, they are getting them when they are young, and they are doing some sick, perverted things to them.
They're going to convince a lot of them that they are transgender. They're going to convince a lot of kids who aren't gender confused, quote unquote, that they are.
Yeah.
And that's the most impressionable age, arguably. They're taking them at the most impressionable age and putting them through this camp funded by tax dollars in order to then profit from them through a gauntlet of gender surgeries and medicine and therapy and all of this stuff that could be replaced by loving God, that could be replaced by going to church, that could be replaced by having a sense of identity and purpose and culture. And instead of that, you get this. That's the culture. That's the identity. That's what they want you to have. It makes you not want to send your kids to school at all. It makes you not want to integrate into society. It makes you want to push as far away from possible. And at the very least, definitely don't send your kids to college. And if they want to go, by God, don't pay for an out-of-state tuition. Don't pay for it at all, even unless you absolutely feel as if it's necessary for your degree. No one needs to be going to college at this point.
Well,
nobody.
I mean, I might go back to law school.
Which law school?
I don't know. I'll figure one. I'll find one. But I might. There's a big chance that I might go back to law school.
If you're going to be a lawyer, if you're going to be a doctor, if you're going to be something that needs a degree, that's one thing. I think it's actually good to encourage that, because we need more lawyers, like everyone who's listening right now. We need more lawyers who are going to stand up for what's right.
Yeah.
So that's a different story. But if you're going to college to get an arts degree or something that won't actually help you, don't go. It's not worth the debt. It's not worth funding that. Don't go unless you absolutely have to for your degree, for your job.
Pretty crazy. Well, I mean, you got to see the funny part, the uncomfortable part, where Matt wanted to throw a battle axe at me, and then we got to talk about our kids. So I leave it to you this weekend. How important is it for people to get involved in what's happening right now? I mean, right now we get all of our information from what they tell us is important, and it's coming. But I want you to understand, we haven't even seen the Epstein list. We've seen none of the Epstein information. They said they were going to release all the information on MLK. Haven't released that. They said they were going to release the information on the JFK assassination. They released very limited pieces of that still do not give us a full picture. So they said that they would do a lot of things, and they have done none of those things. None of those things. They have done none of those things. They have made empty promise after empty promise after empty promise after empty promise. And we're sitting here holding the bag. And we consistently have to hold the bag. And so we really do need to understand that there are things that are very important. And one of the things that's even more important is going to be making sure that we protect our community. Do we have any announcements for today as we close up?
Well, definitely go to Honor Bound USA. There's free Tina stickers that are now at 20% off. So you can go and help to free Tina by purchasing one of those. Hats, other stuff.
It was broken, by the way.
What's broken?
You did that whole thing and sent people over there, and it was turned off.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Sorry. So Honor Bound USA, we can put some of that stuff up. And we're going to put some cool stuff up. Tell us what you want us to put up there. You want garb, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats. Keep running into people now in Colorado that have hats, which is pretty awesome. Get your free stickers. Get your free Tina Peter stickers. Get your coin. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The coins are $2.95 plus DNA or shipping and handling, delivery and handling. Go put one in your pocket. If you're going to buy one, buy to commit that coin. Buy that one coin. Commit to that one coin that you will do that one thing. So if you get the Gideon 300 coin, that is the pray, stand, speak, act. If you do that, if you get that, you have to do all four. Right? That's the rule. You buy the whole set, you better be willing to do the whole set. If you get the pray one, we need you to become a prayer warrior. We're going to have to build, Matt, we're going to have to build fraternities inside of this and say, okay, how do we get people together to do the right thing? How do we build up men? You know, it started with the Revolutionary War. It started inside pubs and churches. I think now it's going to start on podcasts. It's going to start on our podcast.
It has to. It has to start on the internet right now. There's no other way.
And if you go get 50 people, 60 people, 70 people, we're going to be doing some crazy stuff over the next couple of weeks. We're going to do some super chats. I don't even know what super chats are.
It's like a normal chat, but super.
Is it super?
Yeah, it's super.
All right, we're going to be doing some of that. But if you get to stand, you better be standing up all the time for other people. If you get to speak, you better speak truth. Better make sure you do it every single day. And if you have to be in the part where you act, then you better act. You better actually do the right thing. Those are your options, in my opinion. Right?
Well, the other option is to cower away in fear and let evil win. Is that a good option?
Yeah. And if you want to go and support DCF Guns, when you call up, you got to tell them that, hey, I was listening to Matt and Joe. I really want a gun. Send me a gun. If I'm in California, I don't think you can own a gun in California. It's almost getting that way in Colorado.
You can own a water gun.
Water gun. You can own a Byrna. So let's quickly play this Byrna commercial, and then we're going to drop some serious knowledge on you before we head out on this beautiful weekend. This is our beaver killing Byrna.
Gabe! Dude, Gabe, something's in the dumpster.
Whoa. What is that for?
Something's in the dumpster, man.
Well, let's use the Byrna. We don't want to wake the neighbors. Freeze! Stop resisting!
Stop resisting!
If you're looking for a less than lethal option for self-defense or keeping pests out of your dumpster, then check out Byrna at DCF Guns. Visit us at our 3 locations in Castle Rock or Colorado Springs, or visit us online at dcfguns.com.
Okay, so we didn't. That's not the commercial. No, it's not. It's like keep the range hot and never mind. It's fine. That's fine. We're good. All right. Anything else we want to tell them?
I think that's a good end to the show, and we can go ahead and enjoy our lovely weekend, knowing that as we enjoy our weekend, there are people plotting to try to destroy our entire kids' lives, destroy their integrity. You know, just a nice lovely weekend with that in the backdrop.
I agree. All right. You want to pray us out?
I do.
We pray for Tina.
Dear Lord, please help Tina, who is currently in prison, who is currently having to suffer for something that is a result of lawfare and unfair treatment. Help her to stay strong. Help her to be able to still have a relationship that is as good as it can be with everyone in her life, despite being in that situation. And help us to have the strength to get her out and to make sure that we no longer have to deal with consequences like that in the future. Thank you for everything that you've given us. Thank you for our families and for the time that we have here and for the ability to laugh at things and still have fun in the face of evil. Amen.
Amen. All right, we'll see you guys on Monday. We're good?